Brothers and sisters, brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
Once again, it's on.
As the man said, once again, it's on. It's your man, Age Rap, coming at you live and direct. As you know, it's Wednesday. It's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. For those who don't know, it's the End of the Bench podcast where we talk sports, we talk community, we talk everything about the culture and how sports and finance affect the culture. We have our plate filled this weekend. Excuse me, it's kind of hot in here. But on the serious side, we're going to talk a little bit about everything. You got the NCAA Week 1 in full effect. Man, we had a ball last week. I mean, if you're a college football fan, you loved last week. It was dope. You put yourself in a situation to whereas it was a legit get on in most games. The last two games, not so much. We had excitement. You had Michigan doing their thing, getting smoked. You had Ohio State doing their thing, smoking. We had the Pac-12 SEC matchup. That we're gonna talk about that a little later. It was a whole lot going on. You got the NBA. Well, you know what? Excuse me. We have the Basketball Hall of Fame celebration this weekend. The Basketball Hall of Fame. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. Should it be the Basketball Hall of Fame? Should you include? That's a great question, I believe. Should you include Euro players and college accomplishments, and while you are celebrating people from the Hall of Fame? That's something I want to get into. You got the NFL about to start. You got Nike getting mad political, or are they? Or were they? Is this a sign of Nike stepping up? Or are we about to, or is it the banana in the tailpipe once again? These are questions that we gonna ask, man. Like the man said, once again, it's on. It's gonna be very interesting this week. And guess what? As usual, I have the
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
AKA the Sports Supreme Court. We're gonna talk about that a little later. But, it's just a situation to whereas the entire sports world was set on edge yesterday. We saw something that we didn't think we would ever see. You had a major conglomerate with a whole lot to lose, allegedly step up for a brother. Or did they? Did they really step up for a brother? It's easy for a cat to be like, oh man, Nike did this, Nike did that. It was dope the way they got down, man. Nike down for the hood. They stood up for Cap, blah, 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 this, that, and the third. And it was a very interesting day yesterday. You had Trump, not so Trump-ish, up until those indictments came down. I need to shout that tweet out. You had a lot of people, you had people burning sneakers that they purchased. Eric Easy E. Wright, rest in peace, said it best. They bought the shoes already. I don't give a damn what they do with them. But you saw a whole lot last week. It was very interesting. It was something that we never ever thought we would see, allegedly. Or was it purely a red herring? Was it a straw man? Personally, I believe it was a straw man. Now, a lot of people say I'm always creating straw men where they are not. And we all, you don't never trust anybody. And that's partially true. I ain't gonna lie. I don't trust a lot of this mainstream foolishness and, hey man, they down for the cause and blah, 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 this, that, and the third. That was a big move, man. And, I saw a lot of celebrities on social media going, oh, so y'all burning up y'all Nikes. Nike got our back. Nike don't have our back, y'all. No. Nike does not have our back. Nor will Nike ever have our back, if you ask me. Now, a lot of people going, oh man, you tripping, bruh. bruh, you tripping. You know, that was a major move. Come on, man, you got to give them credit for that. No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't have to give them credit, bro. I do not have to give them credit for anything. Because at the end of the day, what did they really do? For those who don't know, Colin Kaepernick has been under contract with Nike since the word go. Allow me to repeat myself. For those who don't know, Colin Kaepernick has been under contract with Nike since the word go. Since this whole boycotting of the NFL, the whole get down. Since this whole thing started, my man has been under contract with the NFL. Did you know that? I didn't think so. I didn't think a lot of people knew that Colin Kaepernick has been on under contract with the conglomerate sneaker company, athletic apparel giant Nike, since the word go. And seeing how he has been under contract since the word go, can somebody please explain to me what took them so long to get behind him? What took them so long to stand up and say, hey, Colin is our guy? If you would like to know the answer, here it comes. Because his contract was up. And people are slowly, like they always do, starting to come around to what's right. And at the end of the day, we can go back to Colin Kaepernick's original statement, which was, I'm not going to stand up for the national anthem because we as a country are not living up to the principles. I love the country. Now, of course, I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting. This is not verbatim. For those who want to nitpick and say he didn't exactly say that, because I get it. I know there's people out there that get out like that. But he pretty much said, I'm standing up against injustice. You know, my brothers and sisters are being shot down in the street. Nobody's answering for it. And people getting paid vacations. Unarmed brothers and sisters getting shot down in the street like dogs. Somehow, some way, then all of a sudden major media start covering the story. Mind you, Colin Kaepernick had been doing this since last season. Now, how he got to kneeling was a Green Beret, a white one, for all those brothers and sisters and people who are listening who need affirmation by the dominant culture, stepped up and said, hey man, you know, in the field of battle, when the flag goes up, as a sign of respect, we kneel. So Colin Kaepernick acquiesced to appease a brother from the military who he had already said he loved the military, he loved the country and things of that nature. And what he did was say, hey man, I love the country too, and I'm just going to do, you know what, if you feel it's disrespectful, I'll kneel. Since then, mainstream media, meaning ESPN, Fox Sports 1, all major publications, CNN, and all MSNBC, Fox News, and things of that nature, they've called it the flag protest, which allow people to take it in another direction. And the reason I'm telling you all this is this. At that moment, Colin Kaepernick was an employee of Nike. His contract is recently going to expire, and he had been approached by the number 2 and the number 3 sneaker company on earth, Adidas and Puma. The reason these people are approaching him because they're seeing the shift. They're seeing the shift in opinion. You can only tell a lie. You can only tell a lie to reasonably intelligent people for so long. See, because when you tell a lie to a reasonably intelligent person, after a while, a reasonably intelligent person, or I'm not even going to insult anybody, a reasonable mind can infer that something isn't right about this. And that's what people are starting to do. They're stopping, they're looking around, and they're saying, hey, something isn't right. And as they're saying something isn't right, they're starting to realize, oh, hold it. This group is saying it's this, but this group over here is saying it's something totally different. Now, it's your choice who you're going to believe. And people are starting to believe Kaepernick and the brothers and the sisters who support him. And people from outside the community who support him. They're starting to see the logic of what he's saying. Because by and large, we've gone through 5th, 6th grade social studies. We heard the Constitution, how the country was come about via protests and things of that nature. We know the whole civil rights thing. We know the whole routine. And at some point, people will start to wake up. They won't wake up as fast as you would like them to, but they will wake up. So when Nike got start realizing, hold it, it's been a shift in the situation. And when they saw Puma and Adidas sniffing around young blood, they said, let's step up and make him part of a campaign. Because see, the thing is, while you had a bunch of dumbasses on social media as usual, posting videos of people burning their own property. Some dumbass man burned things that he was wearing and had 3rd and 4th degree burns, from what I understand. I don't know if that was real or fake, but it was posted. So you had people doing things of that nature. And when you have people doing things of that nature, it makes it look like, oh my God, things up in an uproar. Now, Nike is an American-based company, but they are international. You got people playing soccer, the most popular game in the world, wearing Nike. You got people playing tennis. There's people at the U.S. Open and people who don't live in America wearing Nike gear. All over the world, people wearing Nike. So if you are foolish enough to believe that Nike's only popular because you wear Nike and the people in America wear Nike, you're sadly mistaken. And Nike knows this as well. But when you have a culture that drives consumption, then if you align yourself with that culture, and because we live in a reactionary world, you put yourself in a situation to whereas when people start to come around and recognize the foolishness that goes on and the hypocrisy that goes on, then it'll be like, hey, Nike's in the front seat. You know, when it went down, Nike, they had our back, man. You know how it is. But see, the reason I'm a bit skeptical about Nike and them having our backs is this. Years ago, I used to be a debt collector, and I was very good at it. I was so good that the client, which was, I'm not going to say the name of the client, it was a major credit card company that you see commercials on a daily basis, reminding you, what are you carrying? I can't say this slogan because then I'm liable. But I was one of the top supervisors in the United States of America with this client. So this client took me to a White Sox game, and I was in the press box, and they gave me a big old fat commission check, and I'm ghetto fabulous, man. I'm feeling myself. I'm like, damn, this is what a job is like, man. I'm getting it in. Dig that, man. Your boy is out here doing his thing, and they giving me these $30 cigars. You can take as many as you like. You can have as much as you want to drink. Man, you're killing it for us. Of course, you like that kind of adulation. But me being who I am, I looked at the entire situation. And it had nothing to do with how they would treat me, because these were good people. They seemed to be good people. They were good people in a business from a business aspect, okay? So I turned to one of the VPs and I said, hey man, I got a question. Why is it that we call so many poor people, man? I'm calling, I don't know about in other cities, but in Chicago,